O'Reilly!
It's Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get up to a $25 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries. Our professional parts people will test your old battery for free and recommend the right battery for your vehicle. For power, performance, and reliability, choose Superstart batteries only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, it's Storyworthy. Today on the show, comedian and model Mario Adrion talks about how he was circumcised at 19.
They looked at my penis, they said, dope dick, bro, looks great, fantastic. There's no need medically to do it. You know, there's no some people have they have to get circumcised because it's too tight or something. Mine was great. I had a great penis, let me tell you. It was beautiful. So there's two options, right? You can either get a full, you can just get a full, what's it called, anesthesia, you basically, they put you to sleep, or you do a local anesthesia. And the local one is more common. I was like, I didn't want to sound like a little sissy, so I was like, I got this, bro. So we did the local one, right? So I was fully conscious as the guy was just cutting off my foreskin.
Today on the show, comedian Mario Adrion talks about how he was circumcised at 19. Stay close.
Hey, what is up? My name is Mario Adrion, and you are listening to Storyworthy.
Welcome to Storyworthy. My name is Christine Blackburn, and I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Whether you're a longtime fan of the show or a new listener, welcome to Storyworthy. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the guest last week, comedian Les Kirkendall-Barrett. Les is actually where I know today's guest from. He's a fellow comedian, and so is my friend today. Mario's on the show. And, so I thought that's interesting. Two guys in a row from Fourth Wall. And anyway, Les talked about his soap opera wedding. He's very sweet. He's a great guy and super funny. So make sure you guys go back and listen to Les Kirkendall-Barrett. But not today. Like I said, today I have on another very talented person. He's a comedian, and his name is Mario Adrion. Hi, Mario.
Hey, what's up? It's a Mario. Good to be here.
It's Mario.
Mamma mia.
He is from a little town in Germany called
Alpiersbach im Hochschwarzwald. Yeah, write that down. That's the one.
I always thought in Germany, I've been there a couple of times, mostly like backpacking, as it were. But I always thought the most beautiful place I'd ever been, and also the funniest name was Garmisch-Partenkirchen.
Oh my God, that's the one. Garmisch-Partenkirchen, yeah. That's a little more
Have you
north
been down there?
Not really, no. People don't go to Garmisch-Partenkirchen. I stay in Alpiersbach im Hochschwarzwald most of the time.
What's interesting is it's actually two towns. One town is Garmisch, and then there's the train that goes right in between. And if you get off on the other side, you're in Partenkirchen. Yeah.
No,
it's kind of neat.
When I'm in Germany, I usually go to my hometown. I hang out with my mother, pet the cows in her backyard. I'm from a very small town. I was literally milking cows when I was younger in Germany. So very small town vibes. And I'm either there or in Berlin, for some techno parties and more of the wild nightlife in Berlin.
So when you go back to Germany, seriously, of course, you go to your mother's house, obviously. Mm-hmm. Do you still see your old town friends and stuff there?
I do sometimes, because most of my friends, they stayed in Germany because they're all studying engineering. They're good German boys, unlike myself. So I do see them, but we live very different lives. I'm now in Los Angeles. I'm doing stand-up comedy, and it's a very different life from what my friends do. So sometimes it's hard to relate to my old childhood friends because they're all having kids and stuff, and I'm just out here overpaying for rent, fighting homeless people on Hollywood Boulevard. But, it's a choice I made.
No, of course. But listen, that could be said about me and my friends and family in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Somebody always has to hold down the farm, as it were. In your case, a real farm.
A literal farm, yeah.
So there's always going to be those people that left and those people that didn't leave.
Yeah,
but, Yeah, no, and it sometimes can be a little bit tough, right? Because when you see people that didn't leave, then they think of you like, who do you think you are? Like, you couldn't stay here with us. Like, what, does anybody feel that about you? Like, look at you, fashion model. Is there that sort of, not jealousy, but it's more of a, like, an envy? And then it's in a very passive aggressive way.
Oh yeah,
they
100%.
put you down. They put you down.
Yeah, 100%. It's happened a lot where, like, it's usually jealousy, and I totally relate to that. I mean, it's fair, in Germany you live and you have a very stable life. You study, you become an engineer, but you don't really like travel that much. And then me having, the privilege of like living in California, traveling all around the world with modeling, they see that side of it. Especially with social media now, you only see the positive sides of all this stuff.
Sure.
And I don't post, like I said, fighting homeless people. I was literally attacked by a homeless person like 2 weeks ago. Like I don't post that stuff. So people always have this image of like me living this flawless life. So there's definitely some jealousy where people are like, oh, why are you even here? I go to like the small Oktoberfest. Like we have a small version of Oktoberfest in my hometown, which is the same idea, just way smaller, right? Instead of like 60,000 people, it's like 200 people. And I go to those places sometimes to like connect with my family and see my cousins, and people are like, Mario, why are you here? Why are you not in like Milan walking the runway? And I get these comments sometimes. I'm like, yo, I get it. I get where it comes from, but I don't judge them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, no matter who you are, there's gonna be a problem. So you don't even, you don't have to be a model. You can be just a regular whatever. You can work in the town and they're still gonna find something else. So
100%.
This is your curse, which is not that bad of a curse. But why don't, I have a very good idea. Why don't you start posting pictures of you crying on Instagram?
Yes. Make it more relatable. I post.
Yeah, or like if you're sick, and you're holding your stomach and like you're real pale and stuff.
People do that now. I feel like a lot of celebrities and stuff, they've done that. They've embraced the kind of like imperfections on Instagram. It's their whole brand. They post like close-up photos of their acne and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay. Maybe I'm gonna have to post photos of my like micro penis or something to feel like to blend in more, be more relatable or something. I don't know.
You are so funny. Well, listen, I will tell you, of course, you're a comedian. You're very comfortable. You're extremely confident on stage, which is, I think, most of the battle, to stand up straight and say who you are and like own it no matter what. There's another girl who's been out doing comedy in our little clique. Not clique. I didn't mean to say that, but you know what I mean, where we go for comedy. And her name is Brittany, and she married this really wealthy Swiss man. Do you know that girl?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I saw her once. Yeah, she looks so German, too. She's like blonde and stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, she owns it. She's like, look, I married a billionaire, and this is 100%. What it is. And she totally owns it, and it's really funny. But you also own it, and you're very good. But I will say that researching you for the Storyworthy podcast has been quite a pleasure because, of course, I went down the Mario Adrion image path. That's all you have to do is put in the search engine Mario Adrion, and then you click on the images part, and it's like, wow! Do you have brothers and sisters?
No.
Wow, too bad. You should be replicated. Well, today you bring forth the topic, I was circumcised at 19, which is just, I know we're going to get a lot of hits just based on that title because it's really unusual, I think. I think it's unusual. Is it unusual in the German world?
It's very unusual to get circumcised, like in general, but then also at 19 is like even more unusual, I'm sure. Yeah. No, all my friends were uncircumcised in Germany. I was, I was the only one.
Yeah, no, I've dated a German guy and an English guy. And so I'm on board. I'm very on board with the not circumcised. And I'm excited to hear your story about it because I'm sure you're going to talk about how you made that decision or why that came to be. Yeah. So don't tell me right now, but I really want to hear it. I'm excited about this story because it's very, unusual is what it is.
You can say that. Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah. But one more thing about the fashion model world and, as it were, the fashion model world. I have another girlfriend, Eugenia Kuzmina, who is a fashion model. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I don't know how to put it. Like, there's a perception, obviously, you talked a little bit about it, of how it is for you guys. And just to say, like, I'm a fashion model. That doesn't mean that you're working every single day.
No.
That doesn't mean that you even have a steady job.
No.
So it's kind of like an ethereal, is that the word? Concept that you're a fashion model. Because just because you did a few things or you still do a few things, like you're so many more things than that.
Yeah.
However, since there are so few people with your and Eugenia, with the, I don't know, what do you say it? The specs of what a so-called model looks like.
Yeah.
Like height and
the jawline and
slenderness,
whatever. Yeah.
good teeth, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
That it does make it exceptional, and I guess because it's on the outside, you can't really get away from it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think what I'm trying to say is, do you mind that, or would you rather people start saying, no, I'm comedian Mario Adrion?
Oh, 100%. I even talk about them as stand-up, because I don't like telling people that I'm a male model because it always comes with so many stereotypes. Like even when I was actively modeling, and that's what I did for a living, how I made most of my money, I would always feel hesitant to tell people because once I tell people, first of all, saying that stuff out loud it felt a little obnoxious. It felt like, I don't know. It's just like almost like you're bragging or something. So I never wanted to lead with that. So yeah, that's why I have this joke where I tell people that I sell drugs and shoot porn. I feel that's like this is a nice,
Safer.
It's safer, right? It's like you're more accepted. People like you more. Than for modeling.
Listen, you have such a great personality, and you do shoot. Did you name your show? Because if you look, you got to check out Mario Adrion, you guys, on Insta, and you do shoot a lot of videos in the street, and you do them in Germany, and as you're traveling, you're doing all these little shorts.
Yeah.
And what did you name that show? What's the name? Mario on the Street?
Not really. It's just my channel, Mario Adrion. I have one segment that's called the GPI, the German Penis Institute. Because I had one viral video where I would go up to strangers on the street in Amsterdam and I would go like, hey man, I really like your shoes. I think your shoes are so sick. Just want to ask you a question. How big is your dick? And then I would just ask people about their penis size and it went viral. So then I made a joke out of it and I had like the German Penis Institute asking people about, their penis size around the world for like scientific field studies. Now it's just my name, Mario Adrion. I just go out and I love connecting with people. That's my favorite thing. And I think it's so interesting to see if I ask people like uncomfortable questions on the street, seeing how people react in different places. Like you get different reactions in like Los Angeles versus I just went to Texas, shot some stuff there. It's hilarious.
Well, that's a whole different. It's a whole different culture. What was the biggest thing for you?
What do you mean, the biggest thing?
Yeah, the biggest thing that was like in Texas that you were like shocking, like, oh my God, it's so different.
I mean, people just openly carrying guns. That was a thing for me. I was like, I'd never seen that before because I've lived in the U.S. for 3 years now. I've been here many times, but I've only lived in New York and Los Angeles. So for me as a German where we don't have guns, sure, there's guns if you're a hunter or something. But it's just not a thing in Europe in general, right? So I'd never seen a gun except for on a policeman. It's just like some dude in a flannel walking around Texas. I was like, let's go. This is like where America, the stereotypes about America that I was learning in school in Germany, they all became reality once I left LA and New York and went to Texas. that was hilarious.
Yeah. And so, so how was your stay there? I mean, in other words, their response, they liked you, you liked them, right? Personally, as it were.
Yeah. So I think I have a lot of jokes where I like, do some stuff. I love the LGBTQ community, and I have some jokes where I ask people, hey, honestly, everyone said, how gay are you right now, right? And that kind of stuff, I kind of had to just adjust because I could tell in Texas people were very like, yo, I'm not gay, man. It's like, it's a very different vibe. Whereas like in West Hollywood where, like I feel in LA, it's almost like if you're not at least fluid or bisexual, you're an outsider.
Yeah.
You know, then you're the
Of course.
outcast. It's like, you know.
I know.
You're
You're
straight?
absolutely right.
Are you
You're the
sure?
minority.
Right?
Yeah, really? You
Yeah.
go out with one person. That's so weird.
Right? Yeah.
I know. But while you're doing these, of course, you don't want to appear mean or, mean-spirited. You're asking these questions, but did they feel that at all? Or did you, I know you have to adjust, right? You do have to adjust.
Yeah.
But what, how did you get them to actually end up laughing and playing along, as it were?
Well, kind of like, just not being threatening, right? Once they're like, I also brought my girlfriend, which was funny when we filmed in Texas, which I think helped a lot. Because, when those guys, I'm, asking them stuff and, kind of gay questions. And if there's a hot blonde girl filming it, and I go like, hey, that's my girlfriend. And now, how gay are you right now? It feels like that's more, she almost acts as a buffer and, disarms these guys who are too afraid to be forced into a sexual intercourse on the street with me. Some people are so afraid. I feel like when I go up to them, they're like, "Oh, this," So,
well, it's not. I don't think it's necessarily the question. It's a 6'3" man coming toward you with a microphone. Could that be part of it?
You might have a point there. You might have a point there as well. Yeah.
I'm just saying, the videos in Berlin are so simple. I mean, because everybody there is very flexible.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're in big crowds. But in this country, they might think you have a gun because they do.
True. I never thought about that. That's what I also thought I had in Texas. I was like, shit, if I offend somebody, I might get shot here. The stakes are lower in Berlin. What am I going to do in Berlin?
I know. It's true.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're going to get over to your story in 1 second. But before we do, I wanted to remind everybody to make sure you are listening to My Life in 3 Songs. Now, it's exclusively on Spotify. I think there's 8 episodes up now. And I've got more in the can, including Alonzo Bowden and Phil Hendry coming up. And Greg Proops and Blanket Patch. I mean, what do you guys want from me? This is a fantastic show. I've put a lot into it. And head over to Spotify, please. It's exclusively on Spotify because we use their music. We listen to the music that has impacted the comedian's life. So again, head over to mylifein3songs.com or follow me on social media at mylifein3songs. And also, Storyworthy, I'm around at Storyworthy. All right, you guys, he's here right now, Mario Adrion. You hear him talking. He is a comedian, and he's also a YouTuber and a model. And he's got lots going on, guys. Lots going on. You can find him at marioadrion.com. That basically links you to all the other stuff. That's going to link you to your Instagram, your YouTube, and all the good stuff. And also, now, you have this calendar out, of course, this bromance calendar, which is fabulous. I love.
I'll get you a copy.
I'll
get you a
that.
copy for sure.
I'd love that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
And then you've got your stand-up dates, and so everything's there. But do you, I'm just asking because I don't know. Do you, as a model, when you've modeled, would you say, I have modeled for, do you ever list that like Calvin Klein, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da? Is that important?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I've done stuff for I think the biggest brand was probably Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh, yeah.
Did a shoe campaign for them. And then, I don't know, a bunch of small stuff Bloomingdale's, I did a bunch of Puma, and I did a bunch of commercial stuff towards the end of my modeling career. Because the thing is with modeling, you have when I was younger, I had the gap between my teeth, you know? So at first I hated it as a child, by the way. I was bullied for it. I was I wanted to fix it. But then I started modeling. People were like, oh my God, that's so cool. That's such a unique trait, right? It's that high fashion look. So they pushed me more towards high fashion brands like Runway. So for the first 3 years when I was modeling, I wasn't doing much. I was doing mainly runways and my life was miserable. I had to lose weight. And then I did more of the commercial stuff when I was, a little older in New York. And that's when I did all the catalogs and, Bloomingdale's suits, all this stuff. And so yeah,
what do you do as a shoe model? Is it ever your full body or is it just all shoes? Is it all feet?
Oh, no. It's my full body. It's a campaign. So it's the vibe. So that was I was on a it was so funny. I was on a Vespa with this girl from Brazil, and I had to kind of pretend to be on a Vespa, and then we had to smile at each other and laugh, and it was this whole ad campaign they shot, and then it was us
Sure.
full body with the shoes, like jumping, and it was very a lot of these candid shots were like laughing, and then ha 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 ha, we're so in love, we're young, we're cool, we're hip, we're Tommy Hilfiger, and that was the vibe. So it was not just my feet. Even though I was told, fun fact, I just wanted to brag for a second, Christine. There's a website called mencelebrityfeet.com, which features screenshots it's for foot fetishists. And every single person who's online, there might be a profile of you up there, has or actually it's for men, I guess, has a profile where people post screenshots wherever my feet have ever appeared. So any shots of me, I once did I jumped into a pool, did a backflip, and then it took screenshots of my feet in the air and stuff.
Wow, that is so funny.
And
who has the time? Who does this?
Well, I don't know. There's a business around. It's like they have ads, and I guess it's profitable business because there's a lot of foot fetishists out there. So they rate the feet, and this is not a joke. You can look it up. Look me up on mencelebrityfeet.com. My feet have a rating of 5.5 out of 5 stars.
Whoa!
Like that's
a good foot.
That's the biggest accomplishment of my life. And when I found out, I called my mom. I posted everywhere. Yeah, I was very proud.
You should get a trophy made up of just a foot.
Yes. I think it's time.
You deserve a foot trophy. Anyway, you guys are going to love Mario, especially his videos are just too funny. I'm telling you, go over to YouTube, look up Mario Adrion, Adrion. All right, you guys, wherever you are, put your hands together for Mario Adrion.
Yeah, thank you. Sweet. So yeah, guys, today I'm going to tell you the story of how I got circumcised when I was 19 years old. I grew up in Germany in a small town. And in Germany, like nobody's circumcised. Literally all my friends were uncircumcised. There's not a lot of obviously there's not. Culturally, we don't have that. I don't even know why in America you have so many circumcised people. I think it was I think Kellogg's started it, right? Kellogg's started there's this whole conspiracy that Kellogg's was very Christian and they incentivized and made ads saying that guys should be circumcised so they masturbate less. I think that I read something about that. So anyways, in Germany, Kellogg's not around, so we're all untouched, and just running around in Germany with our uncircumcised penises. It was beautiful. And then when I was 18 years old, I was in high school, last year of high school. One of my best friends is Gizem. She's a Turkish girl. And we got along great. She was my best friend. We're not dating, but we're very close, right? Mm-hmm. And she's a Muslim girl. Her father is from Turkey. She was born in Germany, I think, or no, she was actually born in Istanbul, but she's fully German at that point culturally and stuff. But her father is a very religious Muslim guy. So at some point, she took me to her sister's wedding, which is a Turkish wedding. And by the way, Turkish weddings, the most they know how to party. Turkish people know how to party. It's so different from American weddings or German weddings because it's so free. Everything is a song, and there's not so much of a strict rules. I feel it's much more just people dance and break out into flash mobs all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I want to hear this. Wait a second. Is that the only Turkish wedding you've been to?
It was actually, but I know that they're always lit because I've a lot of Turkish friends, so I've heard a lot about that. It's
Is it an all-day thing? Because I went to a wedding one time in England, and it was an 8-hour event. There was this thing, and we moved. But we went to a pub between two locations. I mean,
that's very British, yeah.
Yeah, very British, and I didn't know that. And at one point, you change clothes before you go to the next event, that. And there's hats at the first event and no hats at the second event, stuff like that. So, what else I'm just curious about Turkish weddings. Is it all day long or?
Yeah, it's very long. It's very long. So there's obviously there's a part of it that's more where they have the rituals and stuff. And then the food is just incredible. And the thing is about Turkish weddings, I feel they don't just invite the close family. They invite everybody and their mothers. I mean, the fact that I was invited tells you that it was it was just the sheer size of how many people were there. It was just it felt more like a music festival than a wedding. You know what I mean? It felt it felt like I went to Coachella or something. It was a full on.
That's a blast.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. So anyways, and that's where I met the family, and I went to the urinal at some point with her father as well. And when I came back from the urinal, we talked about the whole, like, because I was her date essentially. We weren't really dating, but the father was like basically saying that if I wanted to like marry her, hypothetically, that I would have to get circumcised, because it's just, with their culture and stuff. And, I was 18 years old, and at that point I was like, I mean, in my stand-up act, I make it like shorter, but the truth is also that I had been contemplating this a little bit because, see, I'm going to be very honest with you right now, right? As a guy, there's always a little bit of like hygiene anxiety, I feel like, because like if sometimes it doesn't smell so nice, especially if you've been out or something. So I felt like, I did some research online. People said, oh yeah, if you get circumcised, it's more hygienic, It might also make you last longer in bed. And I was like, check. That sounds good to me. And then also Gizem told me that essentially there's a lot of like when the kids get circumcised, like in Turkey, they get like there's something called a sugar fest, a sugar party, right? So they get like gifts and stuff, and they get a lot of attention. I was like, I like attention and gifts, right?
No.
So she made it sound very, she sold me on that shit. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And so I was like, fucking, I did some research on it. I'm like, the thing is about me, like, I'm a pretty, like, once I have a goal and I set my mind to something, I act on it, right? I'm like, okay, let's get this done, right? So literally the next day or something, I called and I made an appointment with the urologist for a check-in appointment. And they were so fucking efficient about it, like super German, right? They were like, okay, let's get you in. We can get this done. And it cost me like 140 euros. It was not covered by insurance. It was considered like a plastic surgery of some sort, So essentially, I went in. I got the I had an appointment then for the circumcision, and I think at that point I was 19. I just turned 19 years old, and so here's the thing: it was a little awkward because I was laying down. I was like, okay, so the circumcision is like.
Wait, they didn't do it that day. You left and
no. Yeah,
were home, and then you came back.
Exactly. I had a check-in appointment. Then with them, they looked at my penis. They said, dope dick, bro. Looks great. Fantastic. There's no need medically to do it. There's no like, some people have like, they have to get circumcised because it's like too tight or something. Mine was great. I had a great penis. Let me tell you, it was beautiful. And then I had the appointment like, a week later or something like that. So there's two options, right? You can either get a full, like, you can just get a full, what's it called, like anesthesia, like, you basically, they put you to sleep.
Sure.
Or you do a local anesthesia. And the local one is more common. I was like, I didn't want to sound like a little sissy, so I was like, I got this, bro. So we did the local one, right? So I was fully conscious as the guy was just cutting off my foreskin, which was odd because like first of all, the most painful thing of the whole circumcision, there was two moments. First moment was when they put the needle. So they put injections to numb you locally, and they put the injections literally. You don't have balls, I'm assuming, Christine, but they put them like in between your legs, right next to where your balls would be, like, and it's the most painful spot, and it's so weird to get like two big needles in there. That was so awkward, and I was so shriveled when that happened. I was not in, it was embarrassing. And then that was the craziest part. There was a girl who was in my school, not in like high school, but like elementary school, and she was doing an internship at the urologist's office. So a girl, that's the thing about living in a small town, you know what I mean?
Oh, no.
So, yeah. So the girl who I went to elementary school with saw me assisted the urologist in getting me circumcised. And like I said, I was like, I mean, I'm a grower, not a shower. So like, I was not in top. Like, that's probably the least. It was the least fluffed I'd ever been, if that makes sense, So I don't know. I felt kind of embarrassed about that. I was like, oh no, I don't even know how it looks, but it can't be good, Yeah, and then it was not painful, but there was one moment where it's still like the anesthesia didn't work, and it's like all the one point where all the nerve endings end on the tip of your gland or whatever, and I felt that a lot, and it was like. it was a very odd moment of my life. And so anyways, it all went great. Took like maybe 30 minutes, an hour. And when we were done, he basically gives me stitches. And the stitches, I think that you have to take them out. It's not the dissolvable ones. You have to take them out after a couple of weeks. And he wraps up my package in a nice, little package. And I went back home. And the thing is then, you couldn't really get an erection. That was the thing. Whenever I would get an erection at night, mainly, I would wake up from it because it was so painful because the stitches were still healing.
Oh, God.
And there is one moment I'll never forget, which is when I went to the movie theater with my mother, right? And we're watching a movie, and I was still healing from the circumcision. It took about 2 weeks to heal from that, right? And I went to the urinal, and I peed. And after I was done peeing, I closed the zippers of my jeans, and the stitches of my dick got stuck in the zipper of my pants.
Oh no!
I know. I love this whole podcast. It's just like, Christine, your reaction, just like, oh no. I know.
I'm still thinking of the glorious penis before you even went into the doctor's office.
I know. It was glorious.
So then what? What did you do with the zipper?
Well, the thing is, my mom was there, and it was the most helpless. Literally, I felt so fucking helpless. There was so because whatever you do, it hurts each way. So I called my mom for help, and this is a true story, by the way. So my mom walks into the men's bathroom with me and helps me get the stitches out of my zipper pants, from remove my dick from my pants, essentially.
Right.
Yeah, that was a very bonding moment between me and my mom, and we'll never forget that. Yeah. Did
it hurt to pee?
It didn't hurt to pee necessarily. No, it hurt to do anything. The peeing itself, because there's just that part of my penis was uncovered. But what did hurt was like the stitches where it was healing. Because whenever I would move in a certain way, there was like micro tears again, and it would heal, and then it would kind of open up again. So
God,
mainly get an erection.
How long did it take to heal altogether?
I mean, after 2 weeks, they took the stitches out. Healing fully until I could be sexually active again. I forgot. It was maybe like a month and a half or something like that. So,
all right. Yeah. What happened to the girl?
So that's the thing. Yeah. So the girl, after I went through all that, I was healed. I went to the urologist's office, and he unpacked the package. And I'll never forget that moment, right? He was literally... The urologist went down on his knees to do the final inspection, to send me off into the world with my freshly circumcised penis. So he unpacked the package to finally inspect my penis, and he looks at it. He looks up at me, and he goes, and that's a quote. It's not a joke. He said this. He said, "It's beautiful." That was it. And I felt like that was such an authentic and genuine compliment from a penis expert, right? So I felt very good about that one.
Sure.
I felt very good about that one.
So you have good feet. You have a good feet, good penis. I mean, I think it's
beautiful,
important.
Not big, beautiful. That's what he said.
Okay,
he
so
specifically
what happened? What happened to the girl?
Yeah,
What'd she do?
So the girl, I went back to school a couple of weeks later, and I was excited to share that with her. To share my freshly circumcised penis. And then she ended up dating somebody else. She ended up dating a Turkish guy named Burak. Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, Burak.
Oh, brother. And I bet Burak smokes cigarettes, right?
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he he drives a BMW and smokes cigarettes. And I just, to this day, and I'm saying this in the very heterosexual way, I just really want to know what his penis looks like. I just want to... I just want to know what I lost against,
Yeah, exactly. Did she ever see it healed?
I don't think she did, unless she Googled my name. Maybe,
I hate her. I can't believe it. Do you have any regrets?
What I said before, about the hygiene, I feel like it is actually more hygienic. And I also feel like, before I would come fast, right? I would last maybe 30 seconds. And now I'm, but now I'm good. Now I'm circumcised, and I'm having sex
45 seconds.
Yeah, 48 seconds on a good day. You know what I mean? I'm just on my A game. I increased my time
and
by
what did your
30%.
What did your mom think of the whole decision?
The decision. So my mom is the coolest mom ever. I was I don't know. I'm just very independent. Maybe it's a European thing. Like I traveled at a very young age. She was cool. Like she didn't really care. She's very like, okay, do your thing, Mar. It doesn't affect my life, right? So she's very. She let me always do whatever I wanted. Like it sounds weird, but like she's a single mom. She was working a lot, right? So in a way, I had to become independent, but she just trusted me with my decisions. Sometimes I wish she hadn't, because sometimes I regret it, especially after I came to America and I thought, in Germany I was a cool kid being circumcised because nobody's circumcised. I was almost like the fish, like the cool kid, the rebel, right? And then I moved to the United States of America, and I learned that every single American is also circumcised. So now I just feel like I'm just more of a sheep now than a rebel.
You're back in the river. You're back in the river
I'm
of
back
regular
in the
penises.
river. That's right.
No, but you know what? That's not true. Nowadays, people do leave the penis uncircumcised. If I had had a boy, I would have. And I know my niece's boys are all uncircumcised. I mean, I think it's more normal now, at least in, say, the last 20 years. So I'm not saying in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, but I think that maybe now people are realizing that it's not medically needed.
Unless it's for religious reasons, like in Judaism or like, Muslim culture,
Now, when you were talking about, by the way, her dad never found out, right?
I hope he didn't. I don't know. It's kind of weird to talk. I don't know. I wasn't that close with the dad, but
but you should have sent him your foreskin.
Something, right? Just this is what you did to me.
Oh, God. That's so funny. I got a little nauseous when you were talking about the injections near the scrotum. That was very upsetting. And I don't understand. Did they tell you that was happening, number one? Number two, did they, freeze the area? Because sometimes they have, numbing sprays and stuff. Did they even give you a heads up? Because that sounds very traumatic.
Yeah, so I'm actually glad they didn't tell me too much about it. They were just like, okay, we're going to have to numb the area. This is going to hurt a little. And then I was like, holy fuck. Like, it was nothing like some little COVID vaccine or something is so different from that. Because they were like, in the most sensitive part of your body that's never touched, right? It's like...
That's very upsetting. Yeah, I hate that. They always say, okay, you're just going to feel a little pinch.
No, no. That was not a pinch. That was a stab.
No.
That was a stab into my balls. Yeah.
I've had epidurals, and same thing, okay, just roll over, don't move your spine, don't move, just a little pinch. And it's like, oh my God, what if I move? Am I paralyzed? It's so traumatic. Shots are very traumatic. They should not, gloss them over. There. This has been a public service announcement for me to all the doctors.
Yeah, no.
Use the numbing spray.
Yeah, I'm still slightly traumatized from that. I literally have a little bit of a phobia for needles, especially when they go deep. It's that was. I have to say, the circumcision experience, that was the worst part of it. That was the worst part. Was the injection?
It sounded in the story. It was.
Yeah.
It is funny how COVID shots are nothing. I mean, it's like that little butterfly needle or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, it doesn't even feel like a bee sting. It's nothing.
No. It's
nothing.
You barely feel. Yeah.
Well, this has been very interesting, and I'm so happy to talk with you. Let me ask you one more question. I know that you say, and you were a fashion model. Yes, we know this. But why? So you guys age out just like women do in the fashion model world. Is that true?
Yeah. And there's so much pressure and a lot of power dynamics in the fashion industry where some very wealthy or very powerful photographer will be like, okay, I'm going to shoot you for this magazine cover. But in exchange, you have to do something for me, right? So I've been in a lot of situations where it was just not very professional and people asked me to do sexual favors. And I just felt like it was such a big part of the fashion industry, and I've experienced it so much, especially since I was doing a lot of underwear modeling and all that stuff, where I was like, you know what? I don't like a dynamic where my whole career depends on these other people that can abuse their power. I'd rather do something where I'm more in control of, like social media. So that's why I enjoyed YouTube, because
you control your own career. Absolutely.
Sure. I still depend on people, but it's not one person. It's millions of people, Yeah.
Right. Well, it's like they didn't want you to be a voice at all. They just wanted you to be the body.
Exactly. And it feels more empowering to just even do stand up. I feel stand up, it's still you're more in control. You can creatively have much more freedom. With the model, I was just like literally a mannequin. Like you're just a hanger for clothes. You don't have a person. You're just supposed to fit into whatever they want. Especially like I was I was always athletic, and I told the story at the last mic, I think, which is that all the agents I had, they always told me to lose more weight, to be more skinny, to fit into more like tiny designer jackets, and I just didn't feel healthy, and I just didn't feel like that's the body type that I naturally have or feel comfortable with. So that's just where like, you know, I now enjoy being able to look how I want to look. I still like, I kind of have to look in shape for like the videos I do and stuff and photos, but that's like my choice and what I like looking like. But with modeling, I just look
absolutely
like a
I can't relate to that, but I can understand that. I mean, you do have a strong voice. I mean, that's part of the comedy is being, you know, confident enough to share your thoughts on things. And for God's sakes, you wear lederhosen on stage. No,
I've done that.
No, but you have you. You're very confident, and I think that it's your personality and it's your smile and it's your kindness that is going to make you successful. It's not necessarily how well you fit into clothes anyway. You know what I mean? Because your YouTube stuff is so fucking funny. It's very entertaining. You are very approachable. I was joking before when I said, you know, you're 6'3" with a microphone, but you're approachable and people like you. And I think you have a long career ahead of you, Mario.
Appreciate it. Thanks for saying that, Christine. Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been a lot of fun. You guys can find Mario over there at his website, marioadrion.com. Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Yes.
if you want to sound French and pretentious, you say Mario Adrion. Adrion. It's a French.
Oh, Mario Adrion.
It's a French last name.
Adrion, s'il vous plaît. Yeah, that's awesome. And from there, you'll get everything, Mario. And of course, definitely check out his YouTube channel as well. And while I'm begging, why not follow My Life in 3 Songs over there on Spotify? I talk to comedians about the songs that have impacted their lives.
Nice.
And I'm getting the best choices and the best, you know, because somebody gives you a choice, or, you know, what one of their choices is. And their story behind it is so strong. Like, you can't negate it. You can't say, you know, God, I don't like this song.
Yeah.
You can't, because then you feel what they feel. So all the songs become important.
I love that.
Very, very good. Yeah, including even songs like Blank a Patch. One of his songs is Conjunction Junction from Schoolhouse Rock. So even when you break that down, it's fascinating. So thank you guys for heading over to mylifein3songs.com and following the show. All right, you guys, one more time on behalf of the very talented Mario Adrion, my name is Christine Blackburn saying, make it a story-worthy week.
Yay, thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the Storyworthy Podcast. We'll be back next week with all new stories. Subscribe to Storyworthy on iTunes and visit the Storyworthy website at storyworthypodcast.com.